receiver will mark those emails as spam emails.
Okay.
So here what we need to do is whenever we are trying to send out any email or whenever we are trying to onboard any provider, we need to ask them about the IP reputation of their IPs. And
Okay.
also we need to make sure that they provide us clean IPs with good reputation. Otherwise, how much ever we I talked about the content of the email. How much ever content we make sure that it is personalized, it is good, the mail may end up in spam folder because the IP reputation is bad. The, so some email.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gaurav Batra Show. Today I have a dear friend of mine who is very close to my heart. He has always been supporting CyberFrat and me as when I started thinking about my entrepreneur journey. He was the very first panelist on my table. He was the one who always supported and guided me during the journey of 7 years of CyberFrat. He is none other than Venkata Satish Guttula. He has served Rediff.com as Director Information Security, and he has been serving many organizations as a cybersecurity professional at this point of time. He is email expert and my go-to person whenever I feel there is an issue related to email security, related to phishing or spoofing related attacks. So today we are going to talk about how organizations can safeguard their emails and what are the challenges they are seeing in email security. Let's have a conversation with him. Hey Venkata, welcome to the GB show.
Thank you very much for having me.
देर आए दुरुस्त आए.
उधर पहले बार बुलाया नहीं, इधर अभी बुला रहा हूँ.
ठीक है, बुलाया, still बुलाया. Okay, so thank you Venkata for giving us your precious time, and as I just announced, right, most of the organization, startups, even I am still facing challenges related to emails, spoof, phishing, and also a lot of things without any reason emails falling into the spam or junk, right? So as per your experience, which you have major in the email security, so what are the concerns organization face today related to email security?
So email security, let's divide it into two parts. One is the configuration. You're talking about emails which are going to the spam folder. So we'll talk about emails going to a spam folder, and also we'll talk about the email security. So first I want to talk about the spam folder. So as you know, and you also asked me about your mails which are going into spam folder. So many organizations they take services from different providers like MailChimp, Mailgun to send out marketing emails. Okay, so here the problem is whenever we are sending a marketing email, we have to look into different aspects of that thing. So when it's not just simple, you take you take the service from service provider, start sending out emails. So you need to look at the content of the email. So you need to make sure that the content is proper and it is also personalized to the user. It is not a spam marketing mail. Yes, it is a marketing mail, but you have to personalize it so that the user feels okay, it is relating to me, and also the spam engine, the which classify the emails as spam. They treat okay, it is a personalized email so that they don't mark it as spam, but it is a personalized email and they deliver it to the user.
Okay.
Okay. So here comes another issue is the email service providers, if they send out thousands of emails per hour, hundreds of emails per hour. So what happens is that when the email receiver, if it is receiving bulk mails from a particular IP, what they do is they have something called as IP reputation. Okay, so they lower the reputation of the IP. They put it in something called as blacklists, because those IP addresses are being used to market emails. So if emails are received through those IPs, then also the email receiver will mark those emails as spam emails.
Okay.
So here what we need to do is whenever we are trying to send out any email or whenever we are trying to onboard any provider, we need to ask them about the IP reputation of their IPs. And
Okay.
also we need to make sure that they provide us clean IPs with good reputation. Otherwise, how much ever we do, I talked about the content of the email. How much ever content we make sure that it is personalized, it is good, the mail may end up in spam folder because the IP reputation is bad. They, so some email providers, they straight away, without even looking at the email content, even though the content of the email is proper, we make sure that it is very personalized and it is not falling into marketing email. There are many email providers which look at the IP reputation and they straight away mark the email as spam if the reputation of the IP is not good. There are certain things called blacklists where these IPs are there, and if the IP is in the blacklist, they will be put marked as spam. So we have to be due diligent in whenever we are doing a campaign, important campaign we are sending out. We need to see what is IP which is being used to send out, and also we need to look at the IP reputation. So number one, as we already spoke about the content, but also we need to look at the IP reputation. If the reputation is good, then yes, there are many chances that the IP, mail will be landing in inbox, or else it will be landing in the spam.
Okay.
And there is also one more thing called is configuration.
Hmm.
So if the email, the IP from where the email is being sent out is not present in our SPF record, then also the mail may be landing in spam.
Hmm.
And last but least, there should be also an MX record.
Okay.
MX record is your address, your email address, where whenever someone tries to send you an email, it is the IP address where the emails are delivered. So we have like cyberfrat.com, but in internet there's internet protocol IP address which works on it. So the MX record tells me what is the IP address where the email should be delivered. So if I'm sending a campaign from cyberfrat.com, then I also need to have an MX record where it will the mail sender will check if it is present or not. Then it will know if it's a genuine website, domain, and it is not used or not propagated in just for sending out spams. That is one thing. And other thing what I want to tell you is have different domains for sending out your corporate emails and different domain for sending out your marketing emails. Why? Because the domain can also be blacklisted. Okay. So if you are sending out your marketing email from some domain and it is blacklisted, then there are chances that your normal regular emails, important emails which you are sending to your client, they also end up in spam folder. So these are some of the things which you need to make sure then when you are doing any campaign. So this is the number one part what I told you about.
Yeah.
And number two is the security. Okay. So I want to tell you that when email was introduced, it was introduced many years ago. It was a project in a university. Their main task is to send out message from one machine to another machine, and they were successful in that thing. And that is the goal. And they never thought of anything secure, about security. Even in the internet, right? HTTP was there, then we came to HTTPS, and the data is transferred in plain text. Now we are having TLS. So when internet, emails, everything was founded, there was no security. Okay. So now emails, because of this lack of security, spoof emails can be sent out. Now you heard about phishing emails, but spoof emails is where the same domain, say for example, there's xyzbank.com. So one can send out email as xyz.com because the email receiving server is just looking at the receiver, whether the receiver is present on the server or not, and it is not checking who is sending out. Okay, if xyz.com, if it is getting your email xyz.com, it is not sending if the person who is sending is actually xyz.com domain or not. Right.
Yeah.
So then they built some security protocols on top of that. Number one is what they introduced, something called as SPF, Sender Policy Framework. where the email domain, uh, the sender's email domain, they will be putting out a list of IP addresses. Okay, so now again we'll take cyberfrat.com. So cyberfrat.com emails are being sent out, say, from you have maybe Gmail, G Suite, or Office 365. So you can list their IP addresses over there, and then you may be also having a marketing this thing where you can send out mails from Mailgun, Mailchimp. So they will also give you a list of IP addresses. So you need to configure those IP addresses in your SPF record.
Okay.
Okay. So then, when the email is received from the in the receiving server, it will check the sender's SPF record and see whether the IP address from where it received the email is present in your authorized sender list or not, IP address list or not.
Okay.
If it is not there, then the mail will be marked as spam, and it will be according to spam rules. It may either be delivered into the inbox or in the spam folder. So now it is very important for organizations to have their IP addresses in place.
Okay.
Okay. Now I will tell you one example. So this is a real example. I don't want to take the name of the bank. So it is happening. This bank is sending out emails, credit card statements to me, and Google is marking it as suspicious. It is putting a question mark symbol, okay, saying that this is appearing from a suspicious sender because the IP address which is being sent, from which we are receiving this email, is not there in the list of IP addresses in the SPF record.
Okay.
So I take awareness sessions where we tell them, okay, if the email looks suspicious, please don't act on it. So this is one of the things which you have to look into is look for the question mark symbol on the email. But here the bank is sending out emails where the IP address is not present in the SPF list. Okay, so this is one of the issues. So configuration changes. They are not configured their IP addresses properly. So this is one of the issue where corporations should understand that they need to work on that thing.
So, like, if I will not be wrong if saying many of the banks or even many people or many CISOs says we have done SPF, we have done DMARC, DKIM, and still their mails go into spoof and things. So it's more of configuration issues we are talking here about, right?
Yes. So see, it's a configuration issue because see there are guidelines which are released over here. So I will take that example. Recently, regulators released guidelines where in the email security they said, okay, have DMARC. Okay, let's come to DMARC later. So DMARC is used to stop spoof emails.
Okay.
Okay, but the regulator said have DMARC. That's it, nothing. So I will tell you an analogy. Now the regulator comes and tells you have CCTV, then I will have a CCTV without switching it on, without recording. Then what happens? If the auditor comes and asks me, do you have CCTV? I'll tell yes, I have CCTV. I can pass the audit, right? So there should be minute details on how to make something. So these technologies are new technologies. So CCTV, yes, everyone knows, okay, it has to be recorded, and if they can give us, okay, for how many days I need to retain the CCTV recordings, I can do that thing. Otherwise, maybe I'll keep it for 10 days or according to the storage what I have.
Yeah, exactly.
But if the regulator says, okay, you need to keep it for so X days, then I will follow and I will keep it for X days. But DMARC is a new technology, right? So they have to tell us how to make it proper, how to configure it properly. Or else I am seeing many organizations are not properly having DMARC configuration.
Okay.
So one thing I want to highlight here is because of that improper DMARC configuration, the email which was supposed to be delivered in spam folder, because the email server provider knows that the email is not coming from the authorized IP address, and it is not having DKIM signature. But because the configuration is improper, they are delivering it to the inbox.
Oh.
So because of the improper configuration, you see, you can tell
Okay.
Instead of something good, something bad is happening.
If DMARC is not there, it will go to the spam.
Yes.
So if DMARC is there, it will go to the inbox. Though if DMARC is not
Not
configured
configured properly.
Oh my God.
Yes, so that's what I want to say. Corporations, when they are implementing something, they need to make sure that the configurations are very proper. Okay, and also corporations in the DMARC, they are not receiving reports. The R in DMARC stands for reports. So the email providers are sending out reports to those people telling how many mails are passing DMARC, how many are failing DMARC, and why they are failing, so that they can take action on that thing. But if you're not configuring to receive those reports, then you are not getting the picture of how your mails are getting delivered. It will DMARC will show you how many mails are delivered and what action is also taken, whether they are taken quarantine, whether they are quarantining the mail, or whether they are delivering it to inbox, or whether they are rejecting it. So you will get all those things. But here, because they are not receiving emails, reports, they don't have the visibility of that thing. So visibility is not present.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
I will come now. I want to talk about DMARC.
Hmm.
Okay, so we spoke about SPF, where I told you that the email receiver knows okay, if the mail is being sent out from the authorized IP address or not. And there is also one thing called as DKIM, domain keys identified mail. Previously I told you, right, uh, the data is being transferred in plain text. So emails were also being transferred in plain text on port 25. It's not encrypted. So the chances of man-in-the-middle attack are more. So the mails can be tampered. So they've been tampered and the mail content has been changed. So because of that, there came a new technology called as DCAM, where the mail is signed, the hash of the mail is taken and it's signed, and the receiver checks if the signs if the signatures are matching or not, hash values are matching or not, and if it is matching, then the mail is not tampered with. So that is how they come to know. But still, again, if it is tampered, they are delivering it. So I'll again tell you another analogy. Uh, when we are flying, we go to the airport, and in India mostly at the gate there's a CSF person or a state person. He looks at our boarding pass and he will see or ticket. He will see whether the ticket is valid or not, and whether the flight is from the terminal or not. He looks at our boarding pass or ticket, and he sees if the flight is if the ticket is valid or not, if the flight is being from the terminal or not, and he verifies it with our identity card whether the name in the ticket or the boarding pass is actually me or not. He's trying to see whether I'm impersonating as someone else or I'm trying to pull it. If that doesn't match, he stops me because he knows, okay, I'm a threat.
Yeah.
I should not go into the airport, or else it's a security incident. But in email, as I've been telling you, even if the mail fails SPF or DKM or both, the mail is delivered to the user. The guy knows, the receiving server knows that this is a spoof mail. Someone is spoofing as you, but still it is delivering the email.
If it is not configured properly.
Yeah. Or if someone is deliberately sending a spoof mail. So that's why there came something called as DMARC, where we can set out, okay, if there's a spoof mail, please reject that mail. Do not let it enter the user's mailbox.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how DMARC came. And when we put the policy as reject, the mail will not be delivered to the user. And also the email service receiving provider will send out a report saying that from so and so IP, someone has spoofed as you, and we stopped it. We have rejected it because it failed SPF, it failed DKM, or if it doesn't have any DKMs in it, and it will send us the report.
Awesome, Venkata. So I just in nutshell. So you mentioned first, uh, the organization need to take care of the IP reputation. They need to configure SPF properly.
Correct.
Then they need to do DKIM and then DMARC. And while doing the DMARC, making sure the right kind of policies are set, then only they are good to go.
Yes, not just
Else,
for DMARC, any configuration, if it is not done properly, instead of doing good to the organization, it will do bad to the organization.
Exactly, guys. So if you don't know, as per Venkata, like if the spoofing emails, whatever are coming to you, if you think after implementing the DMARC they will go away, no. You need to implement the DMARC in a proper way. And I guess who better than Venkata can guide us to do that, right? But Venkata, so amazing insights from you about all these technologies. For my audience, who is listening to us, so not from the, if not from the organizational perspective, what are the direct message you will like to give them, how they can safeguard their emails and personal emails, or any best practices you will like to share with them?
Okay, so I want to tell to the users that according to statistics, one third of all the data breaches happened in the world
Hmm.
originated from email. So this is for the organizations. And also regular users, normal users are also getting phished. Okay, they are losing money. So phishing is not just via email, they are also getting phished from on WhatsApp or not. But let's stick to this thing and let's see how one can avoid being phished.
Hmm.
So phishing emails are designed in such a way that the receiver, when he receives that email, uh, there is a sense of urgency.
Hmm.
If he doesn't do something right now, then your boss may become angry on you. So the mails are sent in such a way. Say, for example, one phishing mail is uh, looks like this. A person receives an email and it tells, okay, impersonating as his boss. I'm in so and so meeting, in urgent meeting, and I told here that I'll be sending some Amazon vouchers. So please buy Amazon vouchers of so and so amount and send it to me immediately.
Hmm.
Now, over there is sense of urgency over there. Okay, I need to do that thing. I'm in a meeting and I need to give the vouchers immediately. And also, the mail is stating that I'm in a meeting with this important client.
And
Now,
frankly, in real world, I have done this. I have done that.
so now the receiver who receives this mail, he will not call the boss, right? Because the boss is in the meeting now.
Yeah.
If I call the boss, then I am disturbing the boss. How can I ask him? So okay, let me take this thing and I'll send out message. So sense of in the urgency, the person might have missed looking at the email address. That the email address might be changing. It may be different. So assume that we kept DMARC, inbound DMARC, and the spoof mail is not sent. But if the email address is different, then they can identify that it is a spoof mail. But still, because of the urgency over there, he may miss that thing and he can actually buy the Amazon vouchers and send it back.
Yeah.
So now, whenever you receive an email asking you to do immediately or do some transaction monetarily, step back, take a minute, and see whether this email is actually coming from my boss or not. You need to look at the email address. And then, whatever it may be, you have to confirm it via different medium. So maybe either you call your boss or from where it is coming from. You have to call them and ask whether the email is being sent out from them and whether they are requesting it to us. So confirmation, double confirmation is required on a different method, different medium. So this is what I want to tell to the audience, that whenever you're getting any phishing mail or important mail like this, you have to confirm, confirm, confirm.
Sure. Thank you, Venkata. And would you like to tell my audience how they can reach out to you if they find any fish email or they want to configure their DMARC settings?
Okay, so they can reach out to me on email. So I have a simple email. It is me@venkat.email, me@venkat.email. So they can send me out an email.
Awesome, awesome
And
email, huh? Dot email at me, Venkat. Great.
yeah,
So amazing, Venkata. And I guess this is a ritual which I will do with everyone. And I'd just like to say thank you for
my
being
pleasure.
on the GB show. It was really, always, it's great talking to you. And thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. I will see you next Sunday. Be safe. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.